some lot of the Tadri Chinda Guveki, Tseni Sergu, any Tibet Lobby, the Niba the Chadidu, Salhapa, some Phanucharas and Shui. The Dring is Sunny, the desert, the Houghton in Dugala, Marangi represented the Maxine water ratio. Any Maxine water ki sta ki lejo nyamdo dus kamishu ki kugo dus nye ta tedon yune to choose jujin go judo and nam so la chik chambi shugo some Tibet Lobby the kechum shuju wada nazo changri nal ta di dingje cheshu chadi go re tebe tola chi peden tola shudu che ki ta yorwa pembu ari ki ta mina taje Senator, the representative, the Samuel Tachi Suzuki Shuduchi, Pena Kanye Kario, the Tegadu, Krazula Shuduchi, Gikugabchi, to Stumbre, and the ICT Karichu Mushrares, the Shui, and I was a series in our Kamakana Gibe. Oh, Tishola, Tishdele. How are you? Good to see you. Sigala, you're there too?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, exactly. So, I think the rap is coming at 11, I believe, right?
Yes, 11.
Yeah. Kathleen. Hi, Kathleen.
Hi.
How are you? Good morning.
Good. I almost couldn't find the link.
Oh, okay.
Are you based in today or are you in Washington, D.C.? I'm in D.C.
Oh.
So there's 3 of us on this call, and 2 of them in your district. And I used to live nearby until I moved recently. So go ahead and message those.
Okay, my name is Chok Sirring, and I live in the district where Maxine Water is representative. Houghton, 90250 zip code. And
what city?
say it again. Houghton.
What state?
Houghton.
Houghton.
Yeah, 90250.
Okay.
And so today we are here. We have Pema. She also lives in the same district, I believe. And we are representing.
I'll introduce myself. Hi, Kathleen. I'm Pema. I live in Westchester, which is very close. Yes, it's just north of the airport.
Right.
I'm very happy to meet you. And my name is Tseten Phanucharas. I used to live in Culver City, and I recently moved to Orange County. So I was a long-term resident of LA County, but recently I moved. So very happy to be able to meet you today, and thank you for taking the time to listen to us. Tibetans as a whole, it's a fairly small population in the U.S., not like some other minorities. However,
you mean the Tibetan minority?
Yes, right. Well, I think there's somewhere around 25,000, 30,000 in the whole of U.S. Southern California has around 300 plus. But we're a tight-knit community, and we all belong to the Tibetan Association of Southern California, and I'm the current president, and Chogla is the secretary, and Pema used to be a former president of this association. So ICT, the International Campaign for Tibet, has been keeping the Tibet issue alive in Washington, and this is part of their effort. The main thing is Maxine Waters has been very supportive of the Tibet cause over the years, and he's met His Holiness the Dalai Lama since she's been for many years, and we wish to first and foremost thank her for her support for our cause, the suffering of the Tibetan people. So, Chuck was going to talk about what we are asking for in particular today. I don't think that we need to update your office. And first of all, I wanted to say, if you have any questions for us, please feel free to ask us, because I don't know how long you've been on the staff and how much you know about the Tibetan issue. So you can ask us for any questions, but as far as what we're here today, merely is Chuck is going to talk about that.
Hi, I will just touch on the talking points, and actually Sept already mentioned that, so Maxine Water was very helpful for us, as a Tibetan. We are refugee everywhere in the globe, so it doesn't matter in the United States or anywhere. So we have 2 days under ICT, International Campaign of Tibet. So they organize every year Tibet Lobby Day. So usually before the pandemic, so we used to go to DC, as a community, go there and meet the senators, representative face to face, and we kind of talk to the whatever the issue we have. We just talk to them directly, understands information, what's happening in Tibet. So this time, because of the pandemic, so we have it's impossible to travel. So that's why we're doing virtual the meetings. So
Yeah, of course.
yes, so that's the reason we are doing virtual. And
Well, all my meetings are virtual.
okay. So coming back to the topic, United States, like U.S. policy on Tibet, right? So there's actually the Biden administration appointed Secretary, I believe, Zia recently. So there was a letter written by Senator Marco Rubio, Republican, Representative McGovern, Representative Chris Smith. And there are like 11 points, talking points, which we want to highlight to the Biden administration to take action. Basically, there was yeah.
Sorry, I wanted to find out, Kathleen, did you receive a copy of the letter that is going around the house?
I don't. Let me look.
Okay.
I'm not hearing you right now.
Oh, Zila.
So I wanted to find out if you received the letter, because it should have come from John Neville.
Looking here at John Neville's email to schedule the meeting.
But he hadn't forwarded the letter to you.
It should say the International Campaign of Tibet.
Yeah. So,
On the letter? No. I'm just saying he didn't send me any attachments. I have his email.
Okay, so
And I'm
we will forward it
Yeah.
to you, because otherwise, it's a rather long letter. The main ask we have is for Congresswoman Waters to co-sign this letter, because already there's 9 congresspersons who have signed on to this letter, asking the State Department to, as soon as possible, to appoint this coordinator for Tibet, because there is a position that was approved a number of years ago, a special coordinator, but in the current administration, I know that they are kind of behind on appointments. but this is it for one, and our letter is urging, this letter coming from the State Department is urging, urging the State Department to appoint a coordinator as soon as possible. And the reason for that, which we will, Pema, do you happen to, can you forward that if possible to her? Is there an email address for you that we can send it to?
Mm-hmm.
Kathleen.sankstock@mail.house.gov.
Oh, I see, mail.house.gov. Okay. Okay, thank you very much.
John has it. John Neville has my email. He just didn't send me the letter.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we will have it, definitely have it forwarded to you. Most importantly, we ask Congressman join the others in signing the letter. In the past, one of the great things about the Tibet issue is it's got great bipartisan support. There's practically no issue where like 99 senators will vote for something, but Tibet for support has been very strong as a bipartisan issue. So we believe if this letter gets signed as soon as possible, and we realize, Congress is extremely busy right now with everything that's going on with a multitude of issues. But as a legislative aid, if you could please bring it to,
Yes.
his
Yes,
attention.
I will look for it.
Yes.
Good.
And,
Yeah.
And you have some,
I know that Tibet is very important.
Yes.
yes.
The congresswoman is a member of the Lantos Human Rights.
Oh, okay. Tom Lantos, correct.
Cares a lot about, yes, cares a lot about human
Mhm.
rights.
Yes, he was a great champion at Tom Lantos and
Yes, he was.
So, but we, and with what's happening in China, China is really cracking down on Tibetans in Tibet, lack of religious freedom. They appoint communist minders in each monastery to eye on what's going on. And then the other situation that's very dire right now is the situation of Tibetans in Nepal. Because Tibetans in Nepal have no legal status. It's a bit more receptive. They're giving settlements for Tibetans, but Nepal operates at the whim of the Chinese government. So when the Chinese government, after the 2008 Olympics, they totally cracked down on border crossings. Nepal was the main route of escape for Tibetans. And 1,000 people, Tibetan kids and so forth would escape from Tibet. But with the Olympics, they cracked down, and now the Nepalese government, when they catch Tibetans crossing, they will return them to the Chinese.
Oh, all right. That is that since the Winter Olympics this year in Beijing, or the Summer Olympics? The summer 2001. What year was that?
2008.
2008.
Summer
So it's been
Olympics,
over 10
yeah.
years that they did this.
Because, they didn't want to have the embarrassment of people escaping Tibet. So
Yeah.
who really cracked down. And since then, the Nepalese government has been very strict. And not only that, but Tibetans in Nepal can't even observe the Dalai Lama's birthday outdoors.
We lived in Nepal years ago before we immigrated here. So we are so aware of what the big difference is and how they now treat the Tibetans, compared to years ago when we were there. So now Tibetans can't even celebrate his own Mrs. birthday, which is sad, But besides that, also just cracking down on anyone who's trying to cross the border. But go ahead.
Okay, Kathleen, I want to, Tonight you're, okay. I want to mention one important point, we have 11, talking points that, was highlighted to the, Biden administration according to the Tibet Policy Act, which was passed in 2002. And there was a Tibet Policies Support Act was passed in 2020. So with, conjunction with the policy, we were, asking Biden administration to take, action on those, the points which was in the Tibet Policy Act, So that's why I request to, provide the administration to kind of, just take action, whatever is mentioned on the Policy Act. And one of the important is access to Tibet. We know that we are American citizen, but still we cannot travel to Tibet. If I go to a Chinese embassy, ask for a visa, they will just instantly reject my visa because I have a Tibetan name.
Yeah.
So this is one talking point too, because when the Chinese, the leaders, they come to United States, they have a free ride in the United States. They can go anywhere. They don't have restriction. So as a Tibetan or as American journalists or leaders or senators, they cannot go to Tibet, even though they wanted to, right? They want to find the real situation in Tibet. But it's just like, kind of already suppress all the information there. So this is one of the topics in the Policy Act, Reciprocal Act, access to Tibet. It means vice versa. You can go to Tibet, they can come to, United States, so it's, should be free flow, right? Kind of travel. But that's the one point, So that's why this is also very important for us because we don't know the real situation in Tibet, it's what's happening there. Because there was a consular in Tindu in southern China, Tibet Autonomous Region a few years ago, but they closed. Now there is no any kind of, United States embassy who's looking after Tibetan, the issues. So that's why also we are requesting Biden to open a consular office in Lhasa, the capital of Tibet. At least, they can check what's going on there, what's the real information, right? So this is also one of the requests to Biden administration, to open an embassy, kind of embassy, but oversee the Tibetan affairs.
Yeah.
And another thing is that, because of His Holiness's age, we are, as friends, are very concerned. Because if you engage with him while he's alive, and not to get emotional, but it's so critical right now to engage with His Holiness.
Where you mean the Dalai Lama, right?
Yes.
The Dalai Lama, yes.
Where is he living now? I thought he was in exile.
He's in exile, but he's in northern India, in Arizona. But given his age, we are so concerned because, the Chinese already plan what they're going to do, unfortunately, if he passes away, and how they're going to reincarnate their version, right? So, one of the most important things is, besides asking for religious freedom in Tibet, is engaging with His Holiness, the Dalai Lama, while he's alive. At 85+ years, right? It's just, we as Tibetans are really concerned, just given his age, that we are running short on time. And so we really would appreciate it if the Biden administration would engage actively with His Holiness, so that hopefully we can at least come up with, some solution to the Tibetan issues. And then obviously with the letter, once you see the letter, talking about religious freedom and so on. Just like Tseten talked about access to Tibet. In 2018, I actually went to Nepal to try to get, never been to Tibet, okay? Now you're looking at the age of how long we have that we have lost Tibet, right? So, try to
Never been to Tibet.
Okay. So
Were you born in the United States?
No. So I immigrated to the US in 1979. So then we went to school in India, lived in Nepal. So that's where we can talk about experiences and the difference between what was happening in Nepal before and how now they're practicing on the Tibetans. But what was happened is, even just trying to get a visa. I've never been to Tibet. My mother was alive. Unfortunately, she passed away last year. And I was on the rules that parents, family, no one has been there. In 2018, I actually went to Nepal with a group of German friends. And they singled me out saying, because of your Tibetan name. I went to the consulate and they totally declined. And here I'm speaking Nepali, as a local, having lived in Nepal for so long, they declined my visa. So this access to Tibet and the reciprocal access is so important because we, in our travels, across so many Chinese citizens who travel to the US. They're going to school, going back to school, and we can't even grant that one, visa just to go back and visit, see what homeland. And then, of course, that leads to the whole, we are free, and language being extinct, right? So there's so much that leads into this, and obviously, time is of the essence. We really appreciate Congresswoman Waters' support and her for tonight. And like I said, for the ex-Westchester, I'm always telling my visitors about how much Maxine Waters has done for our district.
Yeah.
Location of the Mobile Boulevard is really remarkable.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, as I drive on motorcycle, I still think, look, this is where I've seen the units. Once for the vintage, but also, action as well. And hearing, but that's we also did this programs. So I feel like the others have anything else to add.
So the most important thing that is issues outing out the Tibetan Hong Kong. We would really like to see the Tibetan issue not get lost because it's just as bad as not like elsewhere. Yes. Doing everything they can to undermine the culture, eradicate the religion if they could. We really need all the support that the U.S. is able to provide. Pay attention, when Americans bring it up as an issue. We have special coordinator for
I'm not hearing you.
Tseten la jurang ge on che sha chi gyao la background.
It might help if you turn off your video.
Yeah, there's something background conversation.
There's background conversation on
Yeah,
my end. I'll mute
yeah.
myself.
Okay, I muted.
Now better.
you, So, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. So, all right, let's. What I was trying to say is that the Tibet issue, really needs to stay on the forefront because things have not changed. Things are much worse than they used to be. So we really need all the support that we can get. And this special coordinator for Tibet, it means that somebody is dedicated to looking after those issues and bringing it to the attention of the president as well as their counterparts in China. So that's why we, this position be filled as soon as possible, that, it doesn't go for years without being filled. And we would appreciate, Ms. Waters to do that for us. And join in signing, like as I said earlier, there are 9 other signatories to the congressional letter, and we would really appreciate it. She would do that for us. And we appreciate your time today. Do you have other questions for us about Tibet or about this letter? Can you hear me?
Kathleen, we cannot hear you.
I have not seen the letter, as you know, but I will look for it and I will look at it as soon as I receive it and bring it to the Congresswoman's attention.
Okay, great.
Thank you very much. So, if you have any other questions, anybody else has any points to bring up?
I want to bring quick, maybe this is probably the last, this thing, Tibetan language and culture. Kathleen, can you hear me? Kathleen?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, yeah, recently, under Xi Jinping, because, he's kind of dictator, right? He became himself lifetime leader for Communist Party of China. So under his, leadership, there was, what we have seen is in Tibet, the Tibetan language is becoming a secondary language. He intentionally trying to, manipulate and making the Mandarin Chinese language, kind of the prime language for every students. And, so that's the big issue right now under Xi Jinping. He's trying to wipe out the Tibetan culture and Tibetan language, everything, right? So that Tibetan national doesn't exist anymore in Tibet. So that's why, we are asking Biden administration to, kind of just like exchange program in Tibet. Like we have a like a sponsorship from United States Aid. Is always helping us the exchange program with Tibetan scholars, that kind of stuff, right? So to just preserve the Tibetan language, because from the Chinese administration, like Communist Party, they want to wipe out the Tibetan language at all completely, because they have really started like implementing in the school, the Mandarin as a first language rather than Tibetan, right? Because Tibet belongs to Tibetan people, right? There's a majority of Tibetan people, but they're just forcing like Mandarin from outside, just to, wipe out the Tibetan culture. So that's why this is one of the very important topics, that Biden administration can help us to, facilitate like a scholarship program or that kind of stuff, professor to professor, university, in terms of Tibetan language. I'm not talking Mandarin. So this is one of the talking points,